Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Aquarius, you are beginning with probably my favorite card. I vacillate between a 3 or 4 cards, but this is definitely usually my most favorite card and archetype. This is the 4 of Discs, and it is all about fortification, right? It's all about building that fortress, spiritual and material. Now, not literally a fortress, right? But building the temple, the home base, whatever, your castle, your mansion, whatever it is that you like to think of your home or your safe place. Maybe it's like a art studio or a coffee shop or it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anywhere. As long as you have a place where you can go, and if that is in the physical or in the interior, where you can align yourself with the elements and come into a place of balance, of centering, of grounding, and also, and this is really the important one in my opinion, a place to rest. A place to rest, like truly rest. Not just like, thrown across the couch, not doing anything, although that is rest and that is valid. But I mean, where you can go and you can, close your eyes, you can lie down without being, feeling guilty or ashamed, where you can, feel your feelings, cry and scream and laugh like a maniac and all the things, right? And just be all your beautiful elements, all of your beautiful variables, the aspects of your composite being. And it is all brought together here. So that's a wonderful energy to begin with. Now we're going to turn this thing and I'm going to say thank you so much for being here with me today. It is October 1st as I am recording this. It will come out on October 2nd. This reading is not time specific. It is simply activated when you watch it. And we're going to go ahead and start. And we have number 7. Immediately 7. Of course we do. 7 has been so big in my life since the equinox. Yeah. So number 7, and it turns into 812. 812. Okay. On this side it is the 7. And it could even be 718, but I'm looking at it as 7. Now, we have the 812. We also have hearts. We have repeating letter J. And we have, it looks like L. And then we have a bird right here. You can see the bird up close. Right there. You can see wings, and that's the head and the beak. And over here we have, it looks like, and I'm going to pull it out, we have, it looks like the number 82. 82. Now we have a person sitting outside beside the temple. Here's the temple, and here's the person. Body, head, and looking at it looks like a check mark in the sky. Now we also have the letter R. And it seems like maybe the name like Laura or Larry, Lauren. Now we have two people here. If we look at this one, not as the 82, but as a body, and this is the head, we would have two people with the same kinds of heads. So we have two people that are similar. And I do feel that this is maybe related to Thoth's ibis form, which has been coming up a lot in my readings recently too. So this is Thoth in the form of the sacred ibis bird, which is the name of the actual bird. I saw one a few years ago, I guess now. It was beautiful, little white bird. And this is the magician, this is the magic, as opposed to maybe the mathematics or the sciences, or although magic is science and science is magic, they flow into one another. There's, I'm sure a lot of people that would say absolutely not, but if you know anything about the histories of, mathematics and algebras and the different mystery cults that kind of carried some of those things from Mesopotamia into, the gateway into the Mediterranean, where now we have like Turkey and such. These beautiful feelings of gold, sunlight, a window open, conversations about things that you mutually care about. You have topics that you can talk about, reading like a newspaper, sitting, discussing. This is maybe one of the only people in your life, Aquarius, that has ever seen you. And even so, it's with a lamp that has a scarf over it. If you've ever done that in your room to get it a different color or dim it or whatever, make it a softer light. My sister taught me how to do that, and I've done it for many years now. But and be careful though, don't, fire hazard, obviously. But you seeing each other, but in the dimness of the light, but that's not what's important. Because you feel you're on the same page, you're the same, not the same person, but you belong. It's like you're in the same club. You come from the same, world, universe. You're focused on the same kinds of things. And I feel like this has been an easy kinship, an easy relationship, in that there's not a lot of conflict. But within that, I feel that there is a sense of loneliness because it's so quiet. Even when I'm looking here and I'm seeing you sitting and talking, it's like murmurs. It's quiet. It's hidden. It's being lost in the wind. It feels comfortable. Don't get me wrong. It feels, this feeling of, so many people have it way worse than I do. What do I have to complain about? Or, I love my partner and, we get on better than most, but yet there is this thing within you that is growing, and it is a misalignment. Maybe it is that The excitement has gone. You've dwelled in the mundane day after day. And though you are good domestic partners and you get along just fine and you do what you say you're going to do and they do what they say they're going to do and you work as a team for the most part, that thing is gone. Where has it gone? Because the rooms feel empty. And maybe that left with the kids when they went off into the world. But I think this is where the conflict, conundrum, I guess just this feeling of like, I want to do something else. I want something else. But yet, look at my life. What do I have to complain about? Everybody I meet tells me how lucky I am, how lucky we are to have this family, to be in the position we're in. And yet, where is that thing? Now, Aquarius, you are somebody who can dwell in the discomfort. And you can do it well. But to be inauthentic for any amount of time, that's where the sin is here. Not your sin, but the sin of life, I guess, right? To live in a way that does not feel right to you. To become a part of somebody else's idea of reality. And so much so that even when you love somebody so deeply, they can start to feel like your warden, you know? And so we turn this and we have two people here. Okay, so we have one that looks like, yo, I'm ready to frolic. I'm ready to run. I have my little hat on. I'm making magic. I'm going to go, run in the meadows. We have right here, it looks like a dog. Like his ear is like, whoosh, his tail is in the wind, running. Here's the front and the back leg and the nose up here and even smiling. You can see smiling right there, the mouth. Now, we also have the rose over here, okay? We have the number 1, 2, 12, and a heart. We have over here the person standing behind them who is not running. Notably, you can see not running. But they also have the horns, okay? Now, this feels like a Taurus person maybe, but it could also be that we're dealing with somebody who dwells in the devil archetype. That is that they are rebellious, they bring change, they're somebody that just is unwilling. And this might be, let's get around to this really quick. We have the spade and we have the heart, okay? So sometimes when somebody comes into our life, like we meet a new friend or somebody we grew up with comes back and moves back in town or something. We start hanging out, we're talking, we're getting to know each other again. And you start to be around somebody that has this kind of energy of autonomy, individuality. Maybe they have a family, maybe they don't. Maybe they are married, maybe they're not. Maybe they have kids, maybe not. But either way, they have retained a sense of self-importance and, autonomy. That's the big thing. Not feeling confined by the responsibilities of their life, so much so that they won't do anything for themselves because they feel guilty about it, right? So I feel like having somebody like this show up in your life, it's going to change anybody that's around it. Anybody that's around it. When you when you start hanging out with somebody who's just themselves, like versus somebody that like, is worried about their image and the social caste systems and their rankings and, all that kind of thing, which is fine. It's all valid. Absolutely. But how somebody moves and conducts themselves, like one versus the other, quite different energies. Quite different energies. And I'm not saying one's better than the other. I like to be around people who are authentic because I don't like trying to suss things out if I don't have to. But I do appreciate being around people who, who mask or are aware of how they're interacting with people, how they're conducting themselves. They might be performing, they might be at work, being professional, whatever. I appreciate that in people as well. Especially when I am working with somebody like, for my work or business or dealing with a professional of some kind of doctor or teacher or whatever. I absolutely appreciate when somebody is just, they minding their P's and Q's and we're getting to the point of things and moving it along. And, I do appreciate that. Do I hang out with people that are like that all the time? No, not really. I don't hang out with anybody. So, but yeah, so I feel like for you, you're really good at I don't think it's so much that you wear a heavily altered mask, but I do think that you kind of abide these social mores by just not saying a lot or not doing a lot that is noticed. You kind of move around in the background a little bit. And although, yeah, of course you like attention, I think you like it from like one or two people, not everybody. So I feel that like you've, lived a good amount of time where you are keeping the peace and just trying to keep things going. And I feel like having this person come around, I'm not going to say like it's emboldening you. Like that sounds like you're giving all the power to the person that's like, just being themselves and they're responsible for like the fact that you're kind of changing as a person, which is not the case. Like, yeah, you're influenced by their energy for sure. But this is you. And this is something that has been right below the surface. And I feel you really coming into a place where there's such a disregard for other people's opinions and like being so like worried about how you're going to be perceived or understood. And that might be it, right? Like, here's one of the great freedoms of life that even I am working on. And actually, this channel has helped me greatly with this need that a lot of us have to be understood. Like, for somebody to understand exactly where we're coming from, what we're talking about, how we're feeling, and just really wanting that. And is from most of the people in our lives. It is such a rare thing to be aligned with somebody to the point where they not only understand to some degree, right, within the context that they can, you, but also to take the time to learn you and remember things about you and do it like in earnest. Such a rare thing. I mean, it really is not that often in our lives. And I just feel like this dynamic that you're in, this friendship, this changing of kind of how you exist in a way, like, it feels profoundly beautiful. I mean, to me, I'm just like looking at it, and it feels beautiful. Now, it does also feel like it comes with a little bit of resistance, and maybe even, you know, if you've ever been with somebody that is starting to change in their, you know, what they're doing, or how they kind of are, their personality, their emotions, this kind of thing, it can be difficult to go from, you know, whatever it was, and then they're changing as a person, and you're within this dynamic, and you also are changing as a person, of course. But when it's like a very like noticeable change, it can feel like you don't know the person that you're with, or maybe that you're mourning a part of them, or some alignment that you had at some point. And I think that's super normal. In a way, I feel like you are outgrowing some of the old people in your life. And I'm trying to say this carefully. I feel that you are going to have some resistance because they don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand what you're doing. They see it as like some person you met is influencing you, and now you're wrecking your life, kind of deal. Or you believe in things that are ridiculous or out of character, or, you know, you must have that like AI, you know, whatever, psychosis or whatever. No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. I absolutely cannot diagnose anybody, because I have no degrees. I have no certifications, no licensing. I am just some lady in a cornfield. Obviously kind of sick. You can hear it. You know, conveying these messages to you. But yeah, I mean, it just, I feel like it's hurtful because you're growing, but you also know, like, logically where they're coming from, and understand, or you can conceive, like, in your mind somewhere, like, of what it might feel like to watch somebody you love changing, and it's kind of like startling. But I don't think that you're willing to give this up. And honestly, good for you. We don't need to be understood by people. There's such a freedom in letting go of that. That's where I was going earlier. I was like, where did I just like rambled in my way off the road there. Yeah, the freedom of just not, like, if you don't understand what I'm saying, like, that's cool. It's all good. It's all good. Because I probably don't understand what you're saying either. Let's be real, you know? I don't need to be understood anymore. I'm just going to do what I do. And if you like it, or if it, you know, makes you feel something, or it helps you look at some aspect of life in maybe a slightly different way, that's, you know, that's awesome. I absolutely love that. But if nobody understands, and everybody thinks, like, this lady's nuts, she's just whatever, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I mean, I care so deeply that I don't care, right? That weird paradox. Yeah. So I hope and pray for you that you also are getting to the same point. Because listen, the world is wildly out of control. Like, I don't know if you know this, but things are a little shaky. I would say collectively, right? That could be terrifying. I mean, it is in moments, absolutely. But it's also like, yo, there's a dawn coming soon. The new world is rising from the ashes. Now, it's going to take some time to get there, right? And I have no idea what that's going to be like or what it's going to look like. But I choose to remain optimistic. You know, we're going to make the best of this thing. And we're going to do what we have to. But I'll tell you what, it gives me a lot less anxiety about just being who I am. Because you know what? I'd rather just be the authentic, messy, weird, silly, whatever being that I am during this, maybe minor apocalypse. Then try to keep up some kind of image devoted to living for other people. No. Honestly, and that's what I feel. I feel like you're in the same kind of place, Who has time for all that anymore? All of the pretending. Now, there is a very strong message coming from your partner. That's the other thing, the bird between the two. And that's not, I don't think, going to be easy to hear. Now, this might be a romantic partner. It might not be. It might be a family member. But we do also have the bird flying up here. And we have two people, it looks like, in an argumentative kind of posture. So I do feel like there's going to be some turbulence in this time. But we also have the number, we have 2, and then we have the 7. Where we have 2 here and we have 2 here. And the 7 in between. So for me, the 7 and the 9 really indicate the beloved. And we see this image of it looks like a magician or a mage of some kind of like the old Final Fantasy mage. But you have the beloved showing up in your life. Okay, what is the beloved? This could be in the form of a person. It could be your guardian angel. It could be your daemon. It could be your daemon, not demon, daemon, higher self. Okay, that's what that means. It could be your anima, your animus, right? The beloved is, your twin, to some degree, but also your opposite, but also your same. And it is an extension of you. And also you are an extension of it. And when this energy is in your life, it is very much like the lovers, right? There is a divine union. There is the alchemical wedding. There is the coupling of the lunar and the solar energies to create the star being the ultimate goal or the life's work. And so this tells me that you are aligned with your path, okay? In this freedom, in this no longer willing to act and behave for somebody else's purpose, I feel that you have absolutely torn your chest open, right? And the universe has taken notice. The universe, spirit, is with you. And not just hanging out, bringing you gifts, flowing the energies into your life that will take the place of kind of these stuck feelings, these feelings of control and oppression and bickering, and also just watching something that you have loved kind of age, right? And maybe dwindle, and maybe even kind of, take its last breath, right? And so, excuse me, I'm sorry, I am just very congested. I need a little drink. So anyways, yeah, as this kind of energy dissipates, I feel that it's going to be a profound time for you. Also, can we just look? We have the Hierophant, we have the dog sitting sitting beside the tree. Okay. And it looks like a ghost dancer, kind of, the Hierophant. So we have a medium, or maybe a shaman, somebody who can walk in those borderlands. This is a night-sider for sure. And it feels like it might even be somebody in your life. Like a friend maybe, or somebody that you do magic with, or I don't know, you just like hang out and talk about all kinds of like crazy stuff. And in these conversations, you're digging deeper into your own psyche, deeper into your own, interior landscape, considering things that you had never considered, that kind of thing. So I feel like this is somebody who is overtly spiritual, maybe initiated, maybe not. They kind of give me the feeling of, I keep thinking Rosicrucian, but I don't think so. Giving me the feeling of self-initiated, probably solitary. So not aligned with any institute. Something is going on with them, with their their whole life, the whole framework. I feel like something has happened where it's almost like they've had a NDE, like a near-death. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, near-death experience. The algorithm doesn't like the word, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, something where, yeah, it feels like they've met and this is weird, the hellhounds. I've never seen them in one of my readings, but I am imagining that we have these black shadowed dogs. This person is afraid of dogs. This is a thing that has followed them for lifetimes. But they survived here. They're still here. And it does feel like there's something there that is a blockage. It's between them and their tree of life, their personal and in my head, I always I try to stay away from that word because in my head I'll start getting the music from Final Fantasy. If you don't know, Sephiroth is the name of the tree of life in the Hebrew system, or in the Jewish system. And also in the old school Final Fantasy. I always mix it up. Is it 3 or 7? He's like the villain. But it feels to me like there's something here. It might be addiction. I'm just going to keep it real. That or some kind of mental health thing. And that's maybe why there's been this indie thing that happened. Now, we have the flame right in the middle. We also have the T underlined, okay? This is a relationship, a friendship that you have to protect. This is somebody you have a soul contract with. And I think that when this thing happens, if it's happened or if it will happen, or when it happens in the future here, it's going to be a big blow for you. But try not to take it personally. This is a person who dwells within the seen and the unseen. They experience things that most people have never even heard of, like, phenomenon, spiritual ordeals. And so that I feel like this person really, like, it's like there is almost kind of a melancholy, at times maybe almost kind of a dissociative quality to them. And I think you worry a lot, but being there for them, that's the big thing. And I can see you being that person that they can count on. And I think that service is really important for you. It balances out the good that is coming into your life. And, in honoring and devoting our kin and the kinships we have with people and being of service to not only our families, our friends and communities, just the collective in general. This is something that I believe that we must do to do the work. You can't do the work. It will not be accessible to you in a way that matters unless you are being of service to the universe. I don't know why. But it seems to be. So, we'll do 3 lucky numbers and then I'm going to let you go. We have number 44. 44. Oh, nope, you went the wrong way. Go this way. 26, 44, 26, and 96. Beautiful. All right, and we'll end with our Scentsy Child affirmation cards. And it says, I think strategically and act to accomplish my goals. I think strategically and act to accomplish my goals. Heck yeah. All right. Well, Aquarius, thank you for putting up with my sicky sick. I know I probably sound amazing. But I thank you. Thank you for being here. I love you. I hope that everything is, better than expected. I hope that your new season is going well thus far. And if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And other than that, I'm just going to say again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk soon. Good night.